Hi Dana. The easiest way to add text to images is to zoom into the image where you want to kind of add the text. So I go over here to this right hand area and my zoom function comes up and I can zoom in like this. And let's say I want to add text right here in this area. It's nice to pick a light color um, and use dark font, or if you use a dark color you can use light colored font, but where it's real mixed up it's hard to see the text. So I just click and I can type my text, and if I want to make it like that, I can do that. And then I'm going to center it on here, and when I click on this I can make the text really, really, really small. Now, the thing to keep in mind is when you make this text really small and then you zoom out, you can no longer see it. So see how it's there? So you need to remember where you put this text because you can lose it. So what I recommend doing is as soon as you get that text and you kind of know the order of your presentation, to go ahead and add it to the path. So I'm going to edit the path and I'm going to start here, and then we'll go to the big picture, and now I want from the big picture for this to zoom in on the small text. Well, if I try clicking, it doesn't recognize the text because it's so small. So what I have to do is I need to really zoom in, and you can start to see the text, and once I can see it clearly, it'll add it to the path. And then I'll click done, and I can come over here to this picture, and let's say I want to add some text over here in this white area. I will again zoom in, and I'll click, and I'll talk about how we marked the rats. And again, I might want to make that smaller, and you can also make the text smaller with this button as well, but I find this is pretty easy. Now, if you want the text to match the orientation of the picture, you can always rotate it like this. But I think if the text is on a different rotation from the picture, it's kind of neat when it zooms in. So I'll show you what that looks like. And I will zoom out of this whole thing and see, as you can see, you cannot see that text at all. Now, one thing that's nice to test is from here, we're going to go to this big picture. We'll hit done. Sometimes you can see the text when it zooms in. Like in this format, we can't see it, but if I click on my presentation, depending on how close the picture zooms in, you can kind of start to pick up the text a little bit. And there you go, it zooms right in. And then see how it rotates to go to this picture, and you can just barely see that text. And some people might not like that, so you can always make it smaller if you want to make sure that you can't spot the text. Actually, let's add the path for that. So we have 4. If I try and click on it, nothing will happen again because it's too small to recognize. But as soon as you can do that, you'll click on it. And then you click done, and if you want to see what your path looks like, go back to kangaroo rat. They're really cute. We did a study on them. And see, it rotates to match the orientation of the picture, and then it'll rotate again to match the orientation of the text, which is kind of nice. Adds a little variety. So you can always rotate any of your pictures or text if you want to mix it up a little bit. But that is how you add text to images. Now, one last thing that you can also do is you can add text to text. So if I wanted to embed text in this, in the word kangaroo, or in this frame or something like that, I can do that as well. And so if I go over here, I can really zoom in on kangaroo, and if I click, I can put the species name or something, which I cannot remember, but I'll just put in New Mexico. All right, and I make this smaller, and I can make this really, really, really small, and I can either place it in the middle of this O, or I could place it, I could make it really, really small, and I've lost it. You see, you have to zoom in. Still need to zoom in more. And I can place it here in the letter. So if you're looking for another place to kind of hide text, this is kind of a neat way to do it. And then of course if I was editing my path, what I would do is I would click on this as number 6. And we can see what it looks like if we run through it. So you can't see the text there at all, although you know what's going to happen. Well, we'll see. We zoom in, rotate, we can see that, and then we rotate into that. So, and it won't let you zoom in anymore, so you might have to play with the size of the text in case it's too small to read on a big screen, but even like that, you can't see it. So that's another way you can kind of hide text in your Prezi presentation.